Therefore he calls this the oracle. He's writing it, considers it as an oracle, considers it as a divine revelation in competition with John. In those days, since they thought it was written by the companion to St. Paul, it then gained equal status to Holy Scripture for 1,000 years, until they finally realized it was a fraud and they dumped it. So what can we do? I just wanted to take you through this to show you that we can go back the other way. Therefore, by becoming more and more familiar with this, second nature, we will really be getting a quick, concise shortcut into Greek metaphysics and philosophy. Relatively painless. Relatively, depending upon your aptitude and how much you're willing to get into it. Right? Thank you. And everyone has a copy.
You don't want to put 1, 2, and 3 in the last step.
Oh yes, yes I do. But yeah. But if you look at one, if I do, she's not going to get an answer.
Oh, is she? I'm sorry.
She asks, "What are you going to do about 1, 2, and 3?" If you take a look at 1 and 2 and 3, that deals with the highest good, the nature of God. So 1 and 2 and 3 gives a view of God as the highest good, as a one, and therefore it caps it. 3 talks about the need for the sudden, the turnabout, to find out what lies beyond being, because you want to see what comes forth from its concealment. And that whole idea of coming forth from its concealment is nothing other than creation. Our own, what happens to ourselves, or what God does to the universe. That's a quick dusting off of 1, 2, and 3, if I've ever heard one.
Yes.
Yes?
Well, okay, so these were written in the 6th century?
530, 532 maybe, at the latest, 532.
But reported to have been written...
Pardon me?
But reported to have been written before that, 500 years before?
Yes, well, you see, it's designed in a way, that, after all, that he knows John.
Oh, okay.
And he knows where he is, and he's writing him, "Dear John, how are you?" And it also, there's a very nice description of the crucifixion. Therefore, he is asserting in this 7th letter that he was at the crucifixion. Therefore, he's the only one who was thought ever to have been given a record of the crucifixion. Therefore, he ups all of the apostles. They weren't there. Therefore, he's the only one. He's the one that was the companion of Paul, and then goes beyond John. What is he doing? He's lifting his own writings above the Bible, and that's the way it was accepted for quite a number of years. As equal to, yeah.
Where he talks about his methodology of separating the associations and getting to the mystical...
Yeah, right where, that's the symbolic theology, that's what we were going to get into. I'd like to get into it some more. That's letter 9, symbolic theology.
What is to stop using that methodology on any piece of writing? Let's say if we look at a book which is about creating that lectern, and we can use the same methodology because in truth there is nothing holy about the Bible if we take his point of view.
That's
I mean, the Republic might be holy, but the Bible definitely isn't.
That's absolutely right.
I don't get it.
If you understand it if you understand how to translate each of these symbols and images, you don't need the Bible. That's right.
And you could use anything. You could.
That's right. Then you go into Homer. You go in the Old Testament.
You could even look at National Enquirer.
Of course.
And do the same thing.
That's right.
Wait.
That's right. You can say, "Oh, look at this. That represents on a higher level."
In the National Enquirer.
If you're high enough on the thing,
you can see something profound in any pornographic piece of literature, or anything.
Yeah.
There was a recent study by a guy. I really enjoyed it. I didn't get his name, but yeah, it's just a fun point. This theologian decided that he would have a little fun with researchers, so he conducted a study and said, "I have an empirical way of identifying people who are very religious. Number 1, they must have God on their minds all the time, and 2, they must have some creative process in their mind all the time." And he said, therefore I went out and I found, therefore, that there are a bunch of people who talk about God all the time and talk about generation in a certain way. Curses. People who curse all the time have God on their mind, do they not? And they're all into biology and sexuality, are they not? Generation. Therefore, he showed that they therefore must be very holy people according to the normal standards of our empirical world. Yes, yeah.
I missed last time, how did they find out it was a fraud?
Pardon me? How can we?
How did they find out it was a fraud? Or,
Lorenzo Valla. We have to look into Lorenzo Valla. He is the one who opened up it all. He opened up so many forgeries of the church. But his greatest achievement was using one word, likelihood. And he said, is it likely that, is it likely that, is it likely that? And one of the arguments was, is it likely that this could be as magnificent as it is and not be known for 530 years? Is it likely, therefore, that if it was found near Syria, is it likely that the people who are bringing it over here recently discovered it, or is it more likely that they didn't discover it all, but they may in fact have made it up? Isn't it likely that for 500 years, if all the great theologians never once mentioned it, isn't it likely that perhaps they didn't mention it not because they wanted to keep it secret, because it didn't exist? Isn't it likely? But he expresses this in the highest level in his work on the donation of Constantine. That's where he really takes this theory of likelihood to really a beautiful level.
Now the people then had much more sense, because you could use the same thing about Shard of Turin, you can do carbon-14 dating, as well as is it likely, and still people will believe that the shroud is not a forgery.
Well, he would say, let them believe it. They're going to get exactly whatever it is, whatever level they are, that's what they're going to see.
Is that how come the church believed him? My point is that there must be more enlightenment then, or less, at least people. I mean, I'm really surprised that people believed him then.
Well, if you have more practice believing, you'll find you can believe anything. Thank you. Thank you.